Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Hey, so I saw the thumbnail. Canelo might just want to leave Ryan alone. You know, he might just want to. But we'll get into that. But y'all know the drill. First, let's turn to. Back. Welcome back. Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. Okay, so y'all saw the thumbnail, but at the top of the hour, we always talk about water. So I'm up to 10 ounces of water. And y'all know that water is important. It's a life sustainer. And I repeat myself every day. And I always say, if you're not going to be a water drinker, then there's 2 times a day that you just should drink water. And that's first thing in the morning. Before those toes hit the ground, drink you about 8 ounces of water. That's a cup. That's just a cup of water. You can leave it on your nightstand the night before. Some people feel like they can't drink room temperature water. May I suggest that everybody invest in a mini fridge? They got little box like fridges too, like little boxes. They don't cost a lot. I mean, it's a good investment. It's not gonna break you. It's not gonna run your electricity bill up if that's what you're thinking. You're not gonna see much of a change. I myself bought me a 36 inches, like waist high, refrigerator. It's a decent size, and I stuff water in them. So I don't have to go downstairs. So because sometimes just the journey downstairs, to the refrigerator can be, or to the kitchen if you live in a one flat, a flat um, house or apartment. Um, just that journey can be like, oh man, I don't really feel like getting up. That's why I say leave it on the nightstand. But you get up in the morning, your body is like an engine, the water's the lube, moving parts and all. Drink you some water to get things moving. At night, before you go to sleep, before you go down for the night. Not when you're looking at TV or doing something else, but when you go down for the night, drink you another glass of water, which is 8 ounces. The Heart Association recommends it, by the way. It's good for your heart. Got a lot of reads going on at night, revamping, recharging, rebooting, cleaning out your system, cleaning out all the toxins that you probably took in during the day. Um, at night, also, average person burns between 900 to 1,000 calories in their sleep. That's a lot of calories. So I had a couple of questions, but I'm only gonna answer one. This is not gonna be a long show. I left the link in the chat. If y'all want to talk about anything that we talked about this week, you're welcome to join in. I finally see. Well, I'll get to that later. But anywho, let me do the preliminaries first. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, you locked in. You don't have to do it again. But please hit the like and share. If you're watching me on Facebook, come into the YouTube, hit the live icon, and hit the like button, and hit the subscribe button. Help a sister out. This stuff helps my algorithms and everything. But lean on that easy when you step in my easy, or just plainly just hit the like button when you step into my square circle. So a lot of times I just have updates and this, that, and the other, but I do feel questions. Now, this is like a question that never stops. But again, no question is dumb, and no question is annoying. Not to me anyway. I'll let you know if it is. I'm not saying it can't be, but I'll let you know. So I got another question about the filtering system. And I'm like, wow, okay. Some people really want to know. So I told you guys how your body functions. There's no real way that I can keep telling you the same thing. I've told you can look at the previous shows that I did this week or whenever I answer that question. You can also look at my Sunday shows. You'll know because it has an Apple icon. It still says Boxing Fans Talk TV. Basically, what I'm saying about filtering, this is the gist of it. If your body spends all day filtering, it won't spend no time metabolizing. Now, think about you as a person out here in the world. Whether you're a man or woman, you're gonna be sociable. You're not gonna be a hermit. And if you're a hermit, I'm not talking to you. But most people are not gonna be a hermit. You're not gonna be excluding yourself from everybody. You're gonna want to be social. If you're a man and you like women, you're a heterosexual man, you're gonna be looking for a partner. You really gonna be looking for a partner. If you're gay, you're gonna be looking for a partner too. Either way. If you're a woman, you're a heterosexual woman, you're gonna be looking for a man. If you're gay, same thing. Either way, that takes or requires you to be social, for you to go to events, to go to the talk to folks. That's what it's gonna take. So you gotta put yourself out there in a sense. You can meet whoever, wherever. But a lot of people, especially when you're young, you go to clubs and this, that, and the other. When you step in the club, you try to look your best. This man and woman, you gotta look your best, and then all this stuff, because you're trying to attract someone to you. You know what I'm saying? Even if you just be in friendship, just that's all you're looking for is friendship. Like you're not looking for nothing per se, like a spouse or mate or something. You're just trying to be friendly. You're still trying to attract people to you. But people not gonna come talk to you if you're dirty, right? Some people will, but then they dirty too. Birds of a feather flock together. So you want to wash your ass, you want to do your hair, you want to brush your teeth, you want to look presentable, right? You want to look inviting. So even though it's not a crime to be obese, but when you're talking about young people and being social, it boils down to what you look like. And I hate to say it for women, a lot of people can't hear you. Like, it's men run the world, and they can't hear you if they don't feel like they're attracted to you. And do you got to go out your way to be whatever? God made you perfect the way you are. I don't care who you are. He made you perfect the way you are. You just need to accent the essentials, right? And, some people take it to a higher level. Some people have it at a medium level. Some people have it at a lower level. Be your best you. That's it, right? But when you're ill, it's hard to be your best you. It's hard to put on a smiling face and cut a jig in front of people. Or in other words, be social when you're ill. When you're sick, when you're feeling sick, when you're feeling tired. When you're tired, you're gonna want to lay down. There goes being social. So when we talk about the filtering system, I said all that to say, when we talk about the filtering system, if you're eating stuff that your body don't want and can't handle, your body gonna spend all day filtering. You're gonna feel sluggish. You're gonna feel a little ill. You might have the bubble guts. You're not gonna feel your best. Your body ain't gonna work the best. It's not gonna function the best because it's malnutrition. Your body gonna fight like hell for you not to be malnutrition. That's hence the filtering system. But it will spend all day or however long it takes to filter out what you eat, to try to extract what it needs. I'm hoping that you understand this, the person that emailed me this question. And I'm happy to do so. But you I'm trying to break it down simple, stupid. Not saying that you're simple or stupid. But you know how they got those books out there for dummies. I'm trying to make it that, just that lower level, like a 5-year-old could pick it up and read this passage or whatever. If your body spends all day filtering, it spends no time metabolizing. And I don't care who you are and what you think and what you learn or whatever. I lived this. I experienced this. I'm not talking about what I think. I'm talking about what I know. If your body do not get the proper amount of metabolism in it, then you're gonna have an obese problem. You're gonna have you have an obese problem. You can have other problems. It's like a domino effect. If you're obese, some people think obese means 600 pounds. Obese can mean 30 or 40 pounds more than what you should weigh according to your height. When you're bigger, you overwork certain things. You wear them out, like your heart and your lungs. When you're bigger, just think you're squeezing off shit. So there's so many inches between one organ and the next organ. When you're bigger, you cut that space off, and it's not supposed to be cut off. I mean, it can start a chain reaction. So I'm just telling is me putting out the information. The information is already out there. I'm not telling you something that you probably don't know or shouldn't know, but I'm connecting the dots. It's kind of like when I was telling you guys a story about Meat Tenderizer. For years, once I got grown, I started fixing my own food. I was using Meat Tenderizer. I was using it heavily because I like soft meat. I like juicy meat, right? So I'm sprinkling this tenderizer on my meat. Now I've seen my mom do it. I've seen other people do it. I thought that was the way. Very popular item in the store. I don't think it is now. But a good friend of mine, Tracy Bro, shout outs to him, caught me one day cooking and said, "What you doing, T?" I said, "Well, I'm putting meat tenderizer on it, to soften the meat." He said, "Why would you do that?" I said, "To make the meat softer." He said, "Well, if that makes meat softer, aren't you meat in the inside?" And you could have knocked me over with a feather when he said that. As soon as he said that, I was like, whoa, whoa. Basically saying, if that's what it does, aren't you, and it's going to do the same thing on the inside? Is that what you're aiming to do? Is that what's supposed to happen? Oh, I don't know why I forgot, but at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we advocate 100 ounces of water a day. So I'm up to 80, y'all. So keep it plugged and keep trying. But anywho, back to this meat tenderizer. I was like, whoa. Now, I'm a smart person, I feel. And I'm pouring this meat tenderizer on this meat for the sole purpose to soften or loosen up or make it tenderize. You see how you can have information, but you don't connect the dots? That's what I mean by the information is out there, but we're not connecting no dots. I'm pouring this tenderizer on the meat, but never once is it dawning on me that if I put this on this meat, what do I think it'll do when it's inside me? And sure, people can say, "Oh, once you cook it, you burn it off." That, you don't know that it's in it. Just like when you eat meat, you eat everything that animal released in its bloodstream and throughout his body. You don't think cows know that they've been sent off to slaughter? You know what they do to most boy babies, cows that are born? They tie them up. They put them in this like little cage, not a cage. The stalls that they put cows in, but they will put the baby in that. A baby, the baby just like your baby, and they cry and they sniffle and they want their mommy. And they tie these chains so that their neck, so that they can't fully turn around and really buck and try to get out. And they kill them. There's no money in boy cows. You know, and I know when animals have babies, they have girls, they have boys. The boys, they don't make it. There's no money in it. But you keep one boy because you need one cow, and that one cow fathers all the baby cows. And when he gets old and outlive his usefulness, they'll have one in the pasture waiting to take his place. Real talk. If you say the cows don't got feelings, then why do baby animals play when they babies? If it has eyeballs and a vertebrae and has feelings, that's your guide. That's your criteria. You're not supposed to eat it. You're not supposed to eat it. People say, what about seafood? All this stuff. But when you eat these things, hold on 1 second, 1 second. Yeah, so um you just don't know. And I'm just saying, like, that cow fear creeps in, adrenaline kicks in, all that shit run through an animal when they about to get slaughtered or killed. And you eating that. I'm just saying. I heard once time before, I don't know how true it is. I haven't looked it up, but they say if you eat meat, it takes about 7 days for you to digest it all. That's 7 days of filtering. That's 7 days of no metabolism. So again, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you exercise 15 hours a day, 20 hours a day. If you're not creating metabolism in your body, you're not losing weight. You're gonna be gaining weight. And when I go back to when I was talking about the club and put being your best you, being sociable, and meeting people so you can meet your mate, your spouse, whoever, even if it's just friendship. Okay, um, that's not gonna be your best you, and it's gonna cause insecurities. I mean, I'm just talking about the domino effect, especially when you're young. Wondering, like a lot of young people, they still small, but then they're not like totally in shape like I was back in the day. That's because they eating this bullshit. Sometimes I don't even. It's to the point now with meat for me is I don't trust it. There are times, and I love chicken. That's the last meat. Like if you're going to eat a meat, eat a bird, but some type of fowl. Meaning a bird, turkey, chicken, whatever your flavor is. But I have sometimes I could be dieting. I try to eat healthy mostly during the week. But then, every now and then I want to, get some food in and have a good meal. I find it impossible sometimes to eat chicken wings now. I can't. And I actually get up on it and be like, yeah, I'm about to tear this shit up. And then it smell gamey to me. Like you couldn't pay me to eat a deer. I can't do it because it smells gamey. And I don't know how to describe gamey, but people know what gamey smell is. It's a turn off. But I promise you, it don't take you long to get off meat. You think it will, but it doesn't. It really don't. You really don't. And if you eating and your chest get tight, as for us older folks, but it could be happening to you as a youngster. If you feel like your chest getting tight, or you just don't, you feel sluggish or whatever, then that's the telltale sign that you wasn't supposed to eat that. If you eat and you just don't feel energetic and happy and all that, if you eating and you get sleepy right away, you wasn't supposed to eat that. These are signs. We just don't pay attention to them. But these are signs that no, your body didn't like that. Your body don't like it anyway. But it takes some time before your body really shows how much it don't like it. Because it put up a good fight. But after about 20 years of fighting, so from the age of like 20 to 40, your body be like, fuck this shit. This motherfucker ain't listening. I can't fight no more. And then the dangers of that shit start becoming apparent because it takes over. Because your body ain't fighting it back like it used to. You got about a good 20 years, the average person. Some people, even less. Some people, maybe 15 years. Some people, maybe 10. Some people, never, nothing. Right away, it tells you. I mean, it depends on the person and their genetics. But all of that is in conjunction with filtering. Because if you eat something that your body don't like, number one, don't matter that your brain says you like it and it releases endorphins in your head and makes you feel good. Because eating socially is the shit. You go to a club or you go to a party and they got finger food and just people eat and be sociable. That's just what we do. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't take that away from nobody. That's the honest truth. But you know, the question I think the person trying to get at is like overall. Like so I'm breaking it down. I've explained it how the body works, how it functions, what it does, the two different jobs that it do, your filtering systems. But I'm just gonna say plainly, if your body spends all day filtering, it won't spend no time metabolism and metabolizing. And that's what you want. So those right there, if you drink 100 ounces of water a day, believe me, and you cut out certain food groups, you're gonna be shocked at the results. Very shocked. But just to give you a guide, if it has eyeballs, a vertebrae, meaning a backbone, and feelings, all animals have feelings, whether you want to admit it or not, they do. You're not supposed to eat it. Don't eat nothing with eyeballs. There probably would be a creature out there that got meat in it and don't have eyeballs. So don't eat nothing with a backbone. There probably be an animal out there that got meat and don't got a backbone. I don't know. So don't eat nothing that has feelings. And I assure you, every animal has feelings. If they have anger, if they get mad, if they get scared, that is the telltale sign. They got feelings. I don't know why you don't think an animal will be happy, glad, ecstatic, playful. They have feelings. Don't eat it. Challenge yourself. So I hope that answered the question. If, again, he might send me another email asking me in a different way. I'll be as creative as I can, but that's the gist of it. Don't let your filter system be spend all day filtering. I mean, if I had to put time to it, maybe you should only experience filtering for about a total of 4 hours a day. I might want to make a suggestion too, but y'all hit that like and share and subscribe button. I'm gonna make a suggestion. Um, those little devices that diabetics have to get where they prick their finger. Now, I know don't nobody want to do that on the regular every day, but I I like the device. Now that I know somebody who use it, you prick it and it tells you with some kind of measurement how high your sugar has spiked in your body. I think that's what it does, right? If I'm not correct, somebody correct me. But it'll tell you, it'll spike. It'll tell you when you have the spikes and when you don't. So, whenever you eat or throughout the day, you don't want those spikes because those spikes be steep. So if you got number 1 through 10, 10 being the greatest, 1 and 0 being nothing, and you maybe want your stuff to spike maybe 2, 3. But when people eat, their shit be spiking over 10. You know, I'm just giving an example. I don't know these numbers or whatever. I know that the numbers can be real, real high though. So you don't want your spike to be that high. Because when you spike that high, you gotta come down and crash, right? This is how diabetics control themselves and regulate themselves and all this stuff. So to the non-diabetics, if somebody never told you you was diabetic, but you have a problem, you think with sugar, you think you have. We all do. Let me just say it. If you, when I say if you have a problem, let me just rephrase that. Here in America, we all have a problem with sugar. Every last one of us, right? Even the one that look in shape and everything, we are sugar dependent. We are all sugar addicts. We all are. So I was like, even if you're not a diabetic, just so you can gauge or see yourself, because as I told y'all before, guidelines are just guidelines. They're just guidelines. They took 100 people, they grabbed the consensus and they wrote a guideline. And one size don't fit all. Everybody's different. Everybody's genetics is different. Everybody's body reacts and do things differently. So it's just a guideline, people. It's a guideline. Remember that everything, when they be like, well, you should do this, normal is that. These are guidelines, people. Your guide can be different. Like, if they just ask you and judge and say, hey, based on this person, we're gonna set the guidelines for everybody. It'll be totally different numbers. Averages are important. So if you take one of those devices and you check yourself every day, especially after you eat, like check yourself before you eat and then after you eat, you know what that's gonna tell you? It's gonna tell you whatever you just ate made it jump that high. And you got common sense. You can look down at your plate and say what it probably was. So if you see that in one day, let's say you have repetitive meals, do some repetitive, take your favorite food and do a repetitive meal. Just do it on one meal. You know what I'm saying? Just so you know how to X certain things out. Got your dinner plate in front of you. You take the thing before you eat. Make sure you're coming off of a fast where you haven't eaten in a couple of hours or so. Take it, see where your numbers at, right? Eat your meal, have fun, eat it the way you want to eat it. And then however long after you eat and drink everything you want to drink, then take it again. And you can be like, damn. Do this little experiment. Do that little experiment. And I mean, These little devices, I guess you can buy them at any pharmacy outlet or whatever, wherever they got a pharmacy. Because I mean, I don't think that they're that expensive. Just something all of us could do. I'm actually gonna do it just to see. So you just ate your favorite fucking meal. And make sure you get your favorite one, the one that you don't mind eating every day, and run that test. D-Ray promotions is in the building. What's popping, King? I'm on my health shit right now. Welcome to the building, King. Just take, do an experiment. Do it for about a week. I'm not taking no food from you. I'm not telling you not to eat. Eat your favorite, like go for the gusto, your best meal, the one that you know you can eat on the regular. Like for me, I love steak. I love ribeye steak. I can eat ribeye steak at least 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times a week, and will never get bored of it. I could. But take your favorite meal, cook it the way you want it, all the size and everything that what you want to eat with that meal. Drink whatever alcohol or sodas or whatever. But before you eat and drink, take the test. After you eat and drink, take the test and see what the numbers say. Now, if there's a big jump in numbers from before you take the test and to after you take the test, then you gotta look back down at that plate and say something gotta go. Something gotta go because you cannot sustain that. As you get older, you're gonna be hurting yourself, right? So I'm just saying that's something that we all could do and we can all teach ourselves just based on us. Not no guideline, just based on you, right? And why I say do it for about a week, maybe 2 weeks, because it would take that long to try that experiment again, this time taking certain things out. So the first thing that I would tackle, and I done ate this whole meal, the first thing I'm gonna take out is the drinks. Because the sugar and alcohol and the sugar in sodas or juice or whatever is crazy. That shit is crazy. And we drink that shit every day. So that's the first thing I'm gonna take out. So the next day, I'm gonna have a couple of hours between meals, like at least 4. I'm gonna try to give me 4. I'm gonna have a good little fast. And then I'm gonna take my numbers with the diabetic thing and see what it say. And then I'm gonna eat like crazy. I'm gonna eat like I like to. I'm gonna do all that, but I'm gonna have taken out the soda part, right? And I'm just throwing these numbers out. Let's say before the meal, your number was like 110. That's still kind of high, but it was 110. So then after the meal, you up in the threes, 350 or something. So the next day when I do this same meal again, I'm gonna take the drinks out. I'm gonna only drink water. So for the meal again, I'm registering about 110. And after the meal, it might just be the drinks. You might drop to like 230. From like 360 to 230. So what that tells you is the drinks was really doing it. The drinks was team too much, had too much sugar in it, da 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 da, right? But 230 is a high number. Still makes you diabetic. So it's something else on that plate that don't like you. So you be like, all right. So I know I can't drink alcohol no more. I can't do sodas no more. So let me go ahead and just try this, try another thing. The third day, try this meal again. Now, what you could do by the third day, because you saw the drinks spike you up, what you could do is coming off a fast, is take your numbers before you drink, which is 110. And after, drink how you normally would drink. And after you drink, this could be like lunchtime, whatever, or some other time other than dinner. And take your reading after you drink and see how high it jumps up. That way you know for sure. And that might be the only thing you need to cut out. But like I said, you dropped to 230. So this third day you do the meal again. The second thing that I would attack your side items. I would decide if they simple carbs or complex carbs. If they simple carbs, you already know what's gonna happen. The shit gonna jump high. If they complex carb, it might not jump that high. So let's say you have mac and cheese and you have potatoes or you have rice or you got beans. Okay. Rice, potatoes, and beans come out the ground. They're good to eat. They're good to go. Yeah, they can put weight on some people, but they come out the ground. Those are complex carbs. Mac and cheese is not, right? So you say, all right, took your reading, 110. After the thing, 230. Okay, the next day, you already know, I'm going to take out the mac and cheese. 110 before the reading, before you ate. After you ate, now it's down to 160. Whoa. So it was the alcohol and the sodas or the juice, as well as the mac and cheese, the simple carbs. Hmm. And you just keep going like that, on and on. But to start off, start with the drinks, then go to your simple carbs, and then go to your meats, and let the complex carbs be the last one that you take off. Like the potatoes, the rice, and all that stuff. If your numbers still spike up after you eat rice or potatoes, probably because you got gravy and shit on it, which is not good for you. Um, so I'm just saying that's a little challenge you can do for yourself in the comfort of your own home at your own leisure, and nobody can be the wiser. But all that is, like I said, that device will tell you what your body like and what it don't like because it'll just go by the numbers. I don't know why a lot of us don't do it anyway. I don't know why I've never thought of it until just now. But that's what diabetics use. They look at those things before they eat and after they eat, and based on the numbers, they know how to curtail, their food because they got the goal is to get the numbers low. And 110 is still a lot. It's still a high number. I think they say you want to be under or somewhere around 56 or 97. That's why I was talking about the spikes. Every time you eat, your numbers should not spike because when they got to come down, so they're gonna come crashing down, and that's when you have itis. That's what crashing down looks like. Itis, bubble guts, and things of that nature. So thank you for the question. I hope you understand that now. There's no I have to tell this person who emails me this question all the time. And I'm probably that's gonna be my it for the filtering. And I may talk about it, but there's no other way for me to explain that to you. If you spend all day filtering, you spend no time metabolizing. And that's what you want. And if you don't metabolize, it's gonna affect you sociably because you're not gonna be in your best shape. No matter how hard you try. You can't you cannot fight not having metabolism. There's nothing in the gym that you could do or out there working out that you could do to fight against no metabolism. Let me say y'all the trouble. Okay, you talk to a person. Shit. When I tell you, I tried it for years. For years. Is that because you know what the doctor gonna tell you? Well, if you eat it just a little bit less and just work out just a little bit more, you're offsetting. No, no, no. Don't listen to that. It's the one and only time I'm gonna tell you doctors are not telling you how it really works. Because yeah, they doctors and they expert in that glandular area, your endocrine, whatever, but they themselves are not suffering from an endocrine problem. Talk to people who have endocrine problems, and they'll tell you, no, no, no matter what you do. And for people, just so I can connect this dot as well, Because I know we got, like I said, we got all this information, and it's stuck to the wall. We know it, we seen it, we heard it, but we didn't connect the dots. People, um, the reason why, because I know one day that question is gonna come, and used to come to me when I was on my show on Sunday. The reason why diets fail, or even when people call themselves working out hardcore. Hold on one second. Why all that shit fails? It's because in order for you to go through a plan, you have to have all the information, right? In order for you to execute a plan, I should say it like that, you have to have all the information. And the one thing we don't do is drink enough water. So whether you follow my plan, and I have plans, I have plans for people who are on dialysis, who have diabetes, erectile function problems, name it. You know, everything that I address, the side effect is weight loss. So I don't per se address weight loss, even though I have a lot of people that come into me that ask me to help them with that, as far as way to do it, and it shouldn't break the bank. Not saying you gotta buy a device. Only device that you'll buy is something that you're gonna use to make your food. But outside of that, you don't have to break the bank to get the body you want. You know, and you don't want to wait till you lose body parts and you can't do nothing about it, like me. So don't judge by me. I had to learn this the hard way. But the reason why diets fail is because people don't drink enough water. Number one, and people can't plan for things that they don't know is there. So this calorie counting thing, this calorie counting bullshit. Now you're better off finding a different approach, because that shit can be frustrating. That works maybe for some people. I ain't gonna lie, it do. I mean, a small group of people. If you had 100 people, it may work for four of them. That's just the ratio. There might be like 4 people out that 100 that counting calories actually work for. The rest of us, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. And even though America is leading the way in labeling their foods and shit, they still lie. They still omit shit. So how you plan for the shit that's omitted? How you incorporate that into your plan? See, that is the problem. Damn. And I'm gonna take this away. I'm gonna take that away. But the one thing that really is hurting you, not taking it away, because you don't know what's in that item. It's in most items you eat. You don't know that because they don't put it on the label. Should we, be mad at the food companies and bring them up or something? No, that's just how they do things. And it's one of them catch 22s. Because in order for you to have a grocery store, you gotta the food gotta be able to last, and all those preservatives and things they put in food so that they can last on the shelf. That's the shit that your body don't like, and you're slowly killing yourself with it. But we don't know. They're not gonna tell you that because they want you to keep buying da da da. Da. But now you could be a person that eat their recommended dosage. You'll have a good life because you get eating what you want to eat, and it would take a lot longer or slower process of hurting you. But you could tell a person get a cup of whatever their favorite cereal. Tell a young boy that. Have y'all seen how boys eat cereal? I be ready to be sick. I ain't know you could get a mixing bowl, fill that shit up, and eat that shit in one sitting. That shit is crazy to me. Young girls don't do that shit. Boys do, but they have a bigger appetite. But you know how much damage they been doing? But they young when they cut up and they can move, they play ball, they do all this stuff. It's right now it's not saying nothing to them, but give it time. Give it time before it come really knocking at the door. Because your body, after so many years of fighting, it's gonna quit. It just is. We call it aging and shit, but it's gonna quit. And all that damage that's being done because you doing it, it's gonna really show its ugly head because ain't nobody fighting it no more. So, yeah, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent and get into it, but I like those questions. A lot of people just don't understand it. This is why I advocate every day: drink your water, drink your water, drink your water. Sometimes, in some of y'all lives out there, that's all you needed to change. You might be one of the lucky people who can eat that shit, and your body is real resilient, and it just, I mean, that's all genetics, yo. You might be the only one in your family that can do that shit. Somebody got that genetics, and it was passed to you. But drink your water. I promise you, you drink a gallon a day. But like I said here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we advocate for 100 ounces per day. If you do that, come holler at me and let me know how it changed your life. Because I promise you, there will be a change. And it won't just be you going to the bathroom a lot. A lot of people don't want to drink water because that's what it does too. But guess what? That shit level off after about a week or two. You get back on your regular normal schedule. You know, you won't be going so much. Because your body will adapt to it. But I drink spring water myself. I don't do purified because that means they probably had to boil it to get to that point. I like natural spring water. They got spring water out there that's not high price. I don't get the Voss. I don't get the damn some expensive bottles of water. I don't do that shit. If truth be told, if I trust the government, meaning I trust the local government or local municipalities, I would go back to drinking tap water, but shit, I can't trust them. It's bottled water over here. Even when we cooking and shit, bottled water. I'm tempted to buy that that thing that you can probably put it downstairs where you can put it in the contraption and go and get water out of it. Like you plug it up and just replace the bottle. Fill a bottle up. Like buy me like 2 or 3 bottles. Because I actually have down the street from me, not far at all, natural spring water coming out the ground. Like, and the people who donated it to whose land it was, they bequeath their land to their family, but it's understood in the family that they leaving that sprout open for the public. And so they built a little hut around it, and it shit just comes straight out the ground. Cold as hell. I've had it tested. Because when you move into a house, you get all these people soliciting you, trying to set you up on the salt water tablets. I wanted to do that too. But I had the guy come and he was just trying to show me how better these filtering systems you can put in your house or whatever is for you in the long run, considering I have eczema. Of course, I wanted to get that. Plus it's good for your hair, ladies. The more pure water you use. And fun fact, pure water, you don't have to use no agent or detergent to clean nothing. If you can fill your washing machine tub with pure water, it'll clean the hell out your clothes. You ain't gotta put no soap, no nothing in it. It'll clean the hell out your clothes. You can take if pure water was coming through your faucet, you could clean your sinks, your tub, your toilet, everything. But see, in water they put chlorine, bromine, and other substances to purify it or whatever to clean it up. because we reuse water. That nasty water you see in the creek or the gutter or whatever, that water, or them streams or whatever, they use that and they clean it up. Here's the thing: chlorine is a poison. You know, what's that thing we use in toothpaste? Fluoride. That's a poison, but they don't put enough in it to poison you. I want y'all to say, "Oh, stop using toothpaste." No, it's not enough to kill you, but it is a poison. Chlorine is a poison. Bromine is a poison. And some people bodies just don't like it. Mine doesn't. Sometimes it bothers me. But when I turn my water on, I always let it run a little bit. I want to see what's coming out of it. You know, Flint could be all over this country. You know, I don't live in a particular area that's dominated by African Americans or whatever, or a particular poor area. And I'm not putting down these areas, but they tend to do they tend to let shit slide in these type areas. But trust but verify. I still fucking look. I turn my water on, that shit come out any other color than it's supposed to. I be like, I think about that. I want to just be ready. Pound for pound sports entertainment. Salute to you, King. Salute. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just kicking this health stuff. I hope you guys like the information. Somebody asked me a question. I just, feel the question. I do have a health show and I do talk about health. I do create recipes for people to do for a month. We go through a 3-month phase. Well, I'm trying to address whatever issue they say they have. I'm not a doctor, but I do, and I'm not trying to be a doctor. I'm not trying to be nobody but me. But I know, especially being a black woman, there's could be a lot of information out there, and a lot of times we don't connect the dots, and we bump our head and bump our head and bump our head, and you never hear people say stuff like, one of the biggest problems in America is obesity, right? But you never hear people say stuff like, "It's not your fault. It's not your fault that you're obese." And people need to hear that it really ain't your fault. You've been set up, led astray, cooked weak, run amok. What is that? All that shit. You've been bamboozled. You've been used. But you're not gonna hear people say that. All you gonna hear people say is something you doing, some kind of deficiency you have, something you're lacking. But no, it's not your fault. I'm telling you, I'm as old as I am, and I haven't met an overeater yet. Like the people that I see that eat a lot are very teeny people. I have not met somebody who literally just overeats themselves to a big size. And if when they come to me, I'll be like, "You'll be surprised. It's not your fault." Let's first start there. It's not your fault. And I'm gonna prove that it's not your fault. But do we need to get into the blame game now? Because I'm not trying to go after craft or the meat industry or whoever and all that. But I will tell the truth. I will tell the truth. And I'll back it up with receipts, or I'll challenge you to go look up whatever I'm saying and you'll see what I'm saying is true. And it's possible. I'm a smart person, you guys. And I value that about myself. I really like that quality about me. And I'm telling you, it took me years to stumble onto this shit, even though it was right there in front of my face. So if it's doing that to me, I can only imagine how it is for the rest of y'all. Cause I don't miss shit. I read. I'm remember that movie Short Circuit? That's me. Input. That's me. I could be a career student, but it escaped me. And here I am, had my thyroid removed at 24 because of cancer. And you would think that I didn't even know all the things that a thyroid did. But once I got sick, You would think I did read up on it and stuff. You think the whole time I was in the military, I didn't know. When I had the thyroid cancer, I was 5 years in the military. So I was young. I was a young pup. And then I did 20 years. So I did another 15. You would think somebody would have told me something. Mm-mm. They ain't tell me shit. A lot of times in America, they just expect that we all know it because it's not secret information. It's out there. It's not secret. But the way they put the information out, there's no way for you to connect the dots. You'll just know the information and really just don't have a clue. And the prime example that I love to give is the meat tenderizer thing. I don't know how that escaped me. I don't know why a person had to tell me, hey, girl, what you think is doing to your insides? And then I'm like, oh shit. I dropped my mouth. I'm gonna tell you that was the last time that I ate that shit. Cause I swear, once I left the house, I used that a lot on the meats that I prepared. I don't know what kind of damage it did to me because I'm talking, ooh, that was some years. That was like 4 or 5 years of me just using that bullshit. But as when that person told me, I stopped. I never used that shit again. Here it is, so many years later, I still don't use it. I don't even know if they still sell that shit. Mario Bermudez, welcome to the building, King. But anywho, if y'all have any issues, any questions, like I said, you can email me at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. If you want to get on a regimen because you are diabetic, like I said, I can get you off diabetes. Type 2, that is. I can't do shit with type 1. Um, if you're insulin resistance, I can help you with that. I'm not a doctor. I told you guys over and over how I lucked up onto this regimen that I put together. And it came out of a need for myself. It really just came out of a selfish need for myself. And I'm telling you, I have to take medicine to live. Like I can't. I don't have those flights of fancy, like no dreams or daydreaming. Like, ooh, what if I was stranded on a deserted island? You know what I say to myself? I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. They ain't got no pharmacy there. I'm gonna die if I'm stranded on a deserted island. If I'm lost in the woods, I'm gonna die. That's what's gonna happen to me. Because I take pills every day just to live. Just to live, people. That means I can't get out of it. I have to. But that number had got up to 15 a couple of years ago. Was that 15? I was sick of that shit. Every time I turn around, I gotta take this pill, I gotta take that pill. Two of my pills, my thyroid pills, I'll never ever in my life get rid of. The rest of the pills I do take to live, but I think I can get rid of them. And that is my goal right now. That is what I'm working on. I'm finding the health in me. And it's a slow process. Because apparently my body don't like a lot of shit. So it's a slow process. And I'm a person that does a lot of repetitive when I eat. I'm a boring eater. I'm just say it like that. I'm not an adventurous eater. Can't be. But real talk. And the doctors ask me how I did it. They ask me all the time. Real talk. I remember when my cholesterol was getting out of hand. I know you got bad cholesterol and good cholesterol. I was at that age where that's the shit that happened to folks. Shit, I made a change quick. That's why I say a lot of this shit I learned because I was trying to help myself. I've already had organs removed. I'll never be the same. I know. I know. I can feel it in my body. I'll never be the same. I'm not crying about it, but it seemed like the older I get, the more they was like, "Oh, you gotta take this pill. You gotta take that pill. You gotta take that pill. This to stop this. This to stop that." And not to mention all the side effects of taking all that shit. And then you can feel real, real sick. I didn't like that. That's not for me. I don't want to get up every day and take pills. Now, the two pills that I'm residing myself with that I'm going to be on for the rest of my life is my thyroid pills. I know there's no getting around that. If I want to have life and live and see my grandchildren who are not born yet, who are not even thought of, but one day, I'll be a grandmother. Um, and I'm going to have to find a different way to get that same medicine in me, but without being in a pill form or some kind of man-made medicine. And that's when I turned to food. And I just said to myself, there's got to be a reason why they say that food beat our medicine. That's what I did. And I wrote everything down and cataloged it. I hear a food item, I go right to investigating this out of habit. And if I think it's going to benefit me to take in that food, I'll eat it. But I went from 15 pills a day to right now to 6. 6. Now, yeah, I do take allergy pills. I don't really count that because I don't take them every day. But when it's bad, I'll take some allergy pills. But who don't? You know what I'm saying? That ain't. I don't need to take them to live. 15 pills to 6. So again, I don't tell you nothing that goes against whatever your doctor says to do or anything like that. Thank you for the question. Like I said, I can't explain filtering systems no better than what I just did. Hopefully, you got that. You understood that. For those of you just coming in, make sure y'all hit the like button, please, please, please. Just understand the gist of my whole conversation about this health stuff has been the question about the filtering. And then, I added a little extra. But just the plain gist of it is if your body spends all day filtering, it spends no time metabolizing. So if you care what you look like, you want to be in shape, you even put yourself through the regimen of going to the gym, then you're gonna need metabolism. When you don't have metabolism in your body, you're gonna blow up and you're not gonna have control of your body. And I'm here to tell you that shit gonna drive you crazy. Captain Full G is in the building. Say, hey, Lady T, what's popping? Just answer some questions. So the update. Let me get to the boxing thing. And this is important. As a coach in boxing, I use this. I use this regimen. Sometimes boxers got to get weight off quick. They gotta get weight off quick. If you never done it before and you're a boxer and I'm helping you, then I'm gonna come at you in the beginning of your training camp. But if you've done it before and even on your own, you just do these things, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and wait till like 2 or 3 weeks before your fight day. And I'm telling you the shit work. I've had people drop 20 pounds in a week. And never once was they starving, hurting, drained, or none of that shit. Because I don't starve you. You do eat. I just change it up how you eat. Um, Mario Bermudez said, "Baby doll, what's up?" So that's what I do. And the reason why I do charge you, not a lot, but I do charge because I put a lot of time and effort into catering something specifically for you. So if you do write in and you ask me to help you out, first of all, I privacy means everything to me. I don't um I don't relinquish your information. I don't even really call your name. If I talk about something, it's because it's a general problem across the board. Like I can tell you guys this, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just to use an example. A lot of guys who have come to me for help locally, and some people are on here. Y'all don't even know about them. But one of their biggest issues, a lot of them, talking about older guys, y'all already know. I already know. I don't even have to say it. Somebody ain't standing at attention, right? And you rarely hear me, I brush past it, but I do have a recipe regimen that fix that in about a week. Fix it real quick. Week and some days for others, but about a week. And it's so funny because everybody respond the same way. They either if they got my number, they call me up right away, or they email me right away. And you can just see it in the email. Like I don't know why, but I can see the inflections and whatever they type in. Like oh my god, like they be so happy. That's an easy fix for me. I don't have to touch you. I don't have to know you. I already know why you have that issue. People gonna say, "Oh well, T, won't you explain?" I'm not. That's part of my business. But I can tell you in general, you know, um, and I just prepare a recipe and I say, hey, stick to this shit, you're gonna fix the problem. I've had people get off dialysis. That one is hard to do. That one I'm always real leery because that's just one hard one. But type 2 diabetes, I have a lot of people get off of being type 2. Am I a miracle worker? No. Can any of you do this stuff? Yeah. Again, if you want to be a nerd and geeked out like me, you can do that. Anybody can do it. But like if you I do have a charge. Like I said, I cater the whole month to you. I came up with a program where I just go through 3 phases. But I do the whole thing catered specifically for you. So they're open for that. When I stopped doing my Sunday shows, it was because I had a lot of people I had to attend. Again, some people don't want to tell their testimony. I be wanting y'all to tell y'all testimony, but a lot of people don't want to tell. So I respect that. But I got somebody that said no, they cool with telling their testimony. He has type 2 diabetes and he's gonna come and talk to us in July. Hopefully, I need to check in on him. So after this show, I'm gonna check in on him and see what's what. But he said he'll come and talk and we're gonna see what it do. He's had a lot of success. Like his numbers were, and I know he don't mind me saying this. His numbers were three over 350. He's down to like 115 now. Mm, mm. So he doesn't want to have to be on that diabetic medicine. And so the funny thing is, I'm trying to hold out to the end of July myself because I told him I would do it with him. This is somebody I know personally. They're not like they don't they come to the show every blue moon, but I know this person personally. So I told him I would do it with him, and I've been doing it with him. The same regimen I gave him, I've been doing. Oh, and have mercy, taking everything I got. But anywho, back to the just a little small update. So Ryan Garcia is still slinging mud at Canelo. Y'all know I put that out yesterday. Ryan minimizes Canelo's win as champion because Canelo touted it like, "Hey, motherfucker, when I was 20, I didn't know who he was, who he beat to become world champion. But Ryan knows. He put him out there. It's like y'all look at my fight with Fortuna and tell me if Matthew Hatton is somebody that Canelo beat to become world champion. Which one is better?" And I got some advice for Canelo because y'all gonna hear it first here. All them dark secrets that Canelo got and all that shit about the clambuterol and all that shit that's going on in Eddie Reynoso's gym. It ain't just Canelo over there sipping on some shit or eating some shit. Ryan Garcia is gonna let that shit out the bag. He gonna spill that tea. And Ryan, if you so happen to come past my channel, that's why I waited a little bit to say it. You so happen to come past my channel and you hear me saying this, you know you're gonna do it. I'm telling Canelo, it might be too late. You better back off of Ryan. And you know I ain't a Ryan fan. But Ryan is of this generation. You are not. This little code or whatever you think he gonna do and whatever you think he gonna hold, he ain't gonna do it. You're gonna get to a point where you finishing off your career or you already retired. And all that's left is to go in the Boxing Hall of Fame. Motherfucker gonna drop a dime. I'm telling you. Canelo, you cannot beat Ryan at this game. You better fall back. I'm going for tit for tat. But Canelo's upset because of the loss. He was knocked off his perch. This is why, again, I always say you don't put the cart before the horse. And Canelo is a good fighter. He's a great fighter. But he is also pedalized. They pedalize his ass too much. They always have. He thought he was the shit. He thought he was something back when he fought Floyd. And Floyd sunned the fuck out of him. Remember they was in the weigh-in and Floyd tried to say, here, you grab one side of the belt and I grab for the picture purposes. You know, that's part of selling the fight. He pulled his arm away like, nigga, don't touch me. He ignored the fuck out of Floyd. Floyd was like, shit, I gotta send this little nigga. He had an attitude or a chip on his shoulder then, because everybody keep telling him he great. What's that fucking shit on the side of his lip? That shit wasn't always there, was it? I be like trying to find old school pictures of Canelo. I be like, man, did he run across a bad one? Cause you know he was laying it low and spreading it wide. He got a bunch of kids. He finally got him a son. His kids are cute too. Y'all know Canelo got a 17-year-old daughter. She's 17 now. Yep. He had a kid when he was like 15, 16. He almost got a grown woman daughter. He got a bunch of daughters. He got a son. Yeah, Ryan Garcia got 2 kids. Got 2 girls. The kids are cute. You know, I'm saying about Canelo. I haven't seen Ryan's kids that much, but I'm sure they're cute. But Canelo kids are cute. But Canelo, you know, you got a 17-year-old daughter. You know how this generation is. Ryan ain't too far off her age. You don't want to play that tit for tat. I'm telling you, that boy gets some success, and the way he is, he almost one of them kids right now that seem like he walked through raindrops. And he's a handsome young man. People are eating that shit up. His youth. But Ryan gonna see how the table's gonna turn. You ain't gonna be so handsome once you get a certain age, and I'm talking in your 20s. Because little girls gonna grow up and be like, oh, him still catering to little girls. Something wrong with you. Right now, you got all those teens and preteens, and they might think Ryan the bee's knees. I hope he don't look at them. But I'm just saying, once you over 27, you still catering to that group of people. Ryan, yeah, something wrong with you. So enjoy it while you can. But Canelo, better stop fucking with this dude, because Canelo taking his anger out on everybody. I guess everybody can get it. Bivol knocked him off his perch. He really thought he was gonna go up there and become undisputed some kind of way. He was gonna beat Bivol, and he was gonna go for the other guys. Joe Smith already said he has no interest in fighting Canelo just before Joe Smith lost his belt, of course, the Berturbia. But he was like, I ain't fighting Canelo, so you won't even gonna get a chance with Joe Smith. Berturbia, I think, will demolish you. Might not want to fight that man. That's Terminator. So now, you know, I've seen the clip with Canelo saying, well, I'm back down to 168. I feel the most comfortable there. Yeah, you better stay there. Now you got to show and prove. But Canelo made his bones in boxing. He's probably going to be a future Hall of Famer. The fact that he's undisputed and a champion in 4 different weight classes, yeah, I can see him being a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying he's going to get first ballot, but I can see that happening. But he does have an asterisk beside his name. He does. He probably always will. At least in my book. Because you don't wake up cheating. You always probably been. That's how I see things. I'm more critical because it's a dangerous sport. But speaking of Ryan, by the way, he got the fight coming up at the boxing schedule. Where I got July. Joe Joyce versus Hammer, BT Sports, July 2nd, 2 p.m. East Standard Time. Chisora versus Pulev 2 on the zone, July 9th at 2 p.m. East Standard Time. Maxeo versus Vargas, Showtime, July 9th at 9 p.m. That's free, meaning it's not pay per view. Barboza versus Zorilla at ESPN, another free, July 15, 9 p.m. East Standard Time. Garcia versus Fortuna, that's Ryan, the zone, July 16, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't think that costs. Gonzalez versus Dog Bay. That sounds like that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be on that ragged ass ESPN app, ESPN Plus, July 23rd, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And to round out the month, Garcia versus Benavidez Jr., meaning Danny Garcia. And that's on Showtime, July 30th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is not a pay-per-view. So I look at the Dog Bay joint, Danny Garcia, and I know that Ryan is going to get a lot of attention and all that stuff. He sure knows how to promote himself. So Ryan, you're going to have to start as you grow older in your manhood. You're going to have to ask yourself, do you even need a promoter? Because you do a good job at promoting yourself. I'm telling y'all, sometimes, Ryan has never earned nothing, and Canelo is tagging him with that shit. You ain't never did shit. You ain't never earned shit. Not like really a boxer. But Ryan has made, I guess, $10 million, whether it's from some of his social media or just in boxing. Motherfucker is a millionaire. So where is the motivation? He've never had to go through nothing hard and arduous. So where's the motivation gonna come for him to be a real fighter while we all sitting around waiting for that shit? He's so preoccupied right now because what is he doing? He's doing his usual. Usual. He's proposing to Tank Davis. I call it a proposal. He talking about Tank Davis, Tank Davis, Tank Davis, even though he got Javier Fortuna in front of him. And Javier Fortuna, nothing against you, man, but you on the decline in your career. He was a champion once. All that interim shit, fuck all that. He was a champion once, and he was a champion for a year. He had 2 title defenses. That's it. So he was a champion for about a year, and he fell off. He's 33 years old. I told you 30 is the magic age when the decline starts. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. Genetics play a part in it. What you did with your body in all of your 20s play a part in it. Y'all look at Floyd. Floyd fought to his late 30s. Floyd still be doing exhibition. But Floyd took care of his body. He didn't smoke. He didn't drink. He didn't do any of that shit. I commend him. You know how much willpower that takes when all your peers around you is smoking weed and drinking and this, that, and the other. Look at AB. Struggling to have a comeback. But he's a drinker. Okay? We can look at a lot of people. Bud Crawford is another one who keeps his body totally clean. He don't be out there wear and tear, running them streets, hanging with all these celebrities, partying it up, running through bitches, all this stuff. Maybe he got some side bitch. I don't know. I don't know his personal life, but he don't strike me as a person who does that. You can say, Miss T, you fool. I don't know. He doesn't seem to do that. He's at home. He's a father. He's a family man. A real family man. Who's there. That matters, y'all. I know people gonna say, Oh, you saying that in reference of Earl Spence? We know Earl Spence used to drink. He probably still do. I don't know. I hope that he stopped. All of that shit is gonna come back to haunt you. You're in a sport that will aid you just by the roughness of the sport. It's gonna aid you, and then you throw on top of the not doing right by your body. Now Javier Fortuna, he been through some battles. I can't remember is that dude Cuban or not, but I know he been through some battles. And yes, he's a good name to have on your resume for Ryan, I guess. But I think they know Ryan is gonna beat him. Ryan is taller. Javier Fortuna is on the decline. I never forget when Javier Fortuna quit in the ring, and I think it was against Adrian Granados. That shit pissed that dude off. It pissed me off. He knew he couldn't beat this dude. Adrian Granados, he has a tough luck story. Shout outs to him because he's a great boxer. He's a formidable partner, but he have had some bad breaks. He have had what I guess somebody can look and say, oh, he had bad luck in his career. Because a lot of decisions that probably should have been his didn't go his way. You know what I'm saying? So remember, what's that dude? Not Kelbrook. Connor Ben fought him, and I think they went to a decision. And Connor Ben been knocking everybody, all the old heads out. He ain't knock him out. So Granados, shout outs to him. You much appreciated. And I hope one day you do go to the Hall of Fame. I know it won't be first ballot, but you're a good, decent dude. Shout outs to him. But Fortuna, every time I think of that, I think of that fight they had where he quit. Try to make up some shit. He fell through the ropes and act like he hit his head. So he had to stop the fight. No, you was getting your ass whipped. Everybody knew it. And it was before the time where they can give the decision to Adrian. So it was like a no contest. That was some fuck shit. I don't like Fortuna. He puts me in the mind of Laura. If things don't go Laura way, you can best believe he gonna start cheating. Anybody get in the ring with Laura, you better know that. That's how I see Fortuna. But Fortuna is 33. And Ryan is like what, 23? 22? Fortuna is on a decline in his career. Fortuna is. Talk about cherry picking though. You know, that's a good cherry pick though, Ryan. Y'all lucked up on that one. It is a cherry pick nonetheless. Because we know, you're gonna beat him. But you keep talking about Tank. Because you want to be I mean, whoever taught you this formula, you wearing this shit the fuck out. Whenever he get a fight, he calls out Tank. He talks that shit. And he hope he get eyes on it. And I guess it works for him. But he's another one. They put the cart before the horse. They pay him a lot. So now that y'all done made him a fucking millionaire for nothing, we ain't never gonna see no real good fights. He gonna catch you on your decline or when you slipping on your pimping. Because you still be a name. So me personally, I would not watch Ryan Garcia fight. If I turn to it, I don't know. I'm not going out of my way to watch it. I maybe go play bingo that night or some shit. But anywho, that's all the update that I had. I ain't had a lot today. Thank you for the question. Again, if anybody is interested in making a change for the better for their life, coming up with I do recipes. I construct a whole month worth of recipes, and easy to make, easy to fix, real easy. And y'all know I advocate for water, so most definitely got to be on that. I can guarantee you success. I can guarantee you if you don't follow it, it ain't gonna work. And it's not no shortcut. And it's real results. Again, as I say, the proof is in the pudding. You know, it's a lot of things that I'm not like you guys. I can't do and get success in. But I'm gonna tell you, if I can go from 15 pills a day to live, all of these pills are supposed to help me to stay alive. Cause I've had 4 organs removed from me. You know, and I ain't volunteering to give up none. As a matter of fact, don't nobody want my organs anyway, cause they all damaged now. I'm all damaged goods now. But when you take one, you start a domino effect health wise. And so I needed all 15 pills. I can tell you. I only take 6. My next goal is to get rid of these 4. And the last 2 is nothing I can do about it. I have to. I will never get rid of those. But I'd rather be on that because sometimes when you be on a regimen of pills, sometimes you got to take your pill first thing in the morning or at the same time every day. Then you got to wait an hour before you eat, and then you take then you can eat and you can take other pills, but then you can't. You got to put time in between taking different pills because sometimes one pill can cancel out another. You talking about a motherfucking headache? Who the fuck want to go through that? And no matter what you take, you're gonna have side effects. I'm tired of that shit too. So my next goal, these last 4, ooh, I'm gonna conquer it. That shit gonna be hard though. But anywho, so if you guys need my help or want my help, hey, I'm just an email away. boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. And whatever we talk about stays with us, no matter what. I would never um uh go against your privacy. Never. Never. So thank you guys for watching and everything. Not much to talk about. Oh, that guy that came in my show, Jerry Tasker. I see he been making the rounds. I heard about you, Jerry. You might be listening. I heard about you. You can still come to the show, but I heard about you. Anywho, so when y'all know better, you'll do better. And that's all I got. Thank you for watching. If you're watching me on the replay, please leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about the show. I'm open minded and everything, but I always tell you I'm T. Please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Sometimes we just have updates, sometimes we have big news and all that. I try to pick the news that are relevant, but just be on top of things, so everybody can know the behind the scenes or whatever, get a different perspective. Oh, the one thing I was gonna talk about, I'm sorry, I'm about to sign out, but hold tight. Hold tight. I'm about to sign out. I can't. I gotta hold on, that was my mixer. Uh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that you guys have seen this. Uh, I'm just gonna put my 2 cents in it. I'm gonna be quick. I'm sure you guys have seen this. This is not my video. Mm, don't own the rights. It's a TikTok video anyway. And I'm just gonna show y'all this. And a lot of people have been talking about it. I'm just gonna put my 2 cents in there. I'm not negating what nobody else say. But I'm gonna tell you what I see. So here you go.
Every fucking day, my baby daddy come here with one fucking meal for my child. But I have 3 other kids. We have 1 kid together, but he only want to come and bring one thing to McDonald's. But what about my other kids? How come you can't feed my other kids McDonald's though? Like that's bogus as hell. Like you're not finna sit here and make my other kids feel left out, and you're only bringing one child something to eat. Look, there he go, and I bet you he only got one thing in there. I bet you he don't even. I'm finna expose out of him so people can see how he really is. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up? Because I'm finna expose you. What? Because that don't look enough for all my kids. That don't look enough for all my kids. What is that? That's just one burger? One burger, one fry?
What he like? What do you mean?
Okay, what about my other kids?
What about your other kids?
Okay, but them your kids' siblings, though.
What are you talking about? What are you
them my kids, them your kids' siblings, though.
So what you?
So my other kids finna be left out.
You didn't feed them?
You know I don't give my food stamps to the seven.
Lisa, how is that my problem?
But if you're trying to help out, though, you're not helping out.
I'm not trying to help. I'm trying to help my son.
How are you helping your son when you're only getting food for just him and not the other kids, his siblings?
Lisa,
them are his siblings, though. He's not finna eat in front of all his other siblings, and they're not eating on McDonald's. Why do I gotta put?
Bring him out to the car.
No. He's not finna eat that shit at all if you can't bring enough for everybody.
Lisa, so you telling me that I gotta bring my son food? I gotta bring your kids food too now?
Yes.
You sound dumb.
How is that dumb? You sound dumb. You sound dumb.
Where are they daddies at? Nobody told you to talk to them other. You had them other kids. Them your responsibility. They're not my responsibility.
Okay, but if you're gonna bring one, you need to bring it for all. How do that shit look that I'm letting one child eat McDonald's and all the rest of the kids can't eat no fucking McDonald's? So you know I get food stamps on the 11th.
That ain't 3 kids that ain't mine. 3 kids that ain't mine.
Yeah, they're his siblings. You knew what you was getting into when you had a baby with me.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You expect me to take care of all the kids? They're not my kids. Okay,
but you still had a baby with me who have kids with other people. I still have other kids.
Why are you recording?
Because I'm exposing. Everybody think you such a motherfucking good daddy. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're full of shit in this bullshit. You only come here with one piece of food for one child.
The child that's mine, silly.
So that's dumb that you can't feed the other kids. Don't feed nobody at all. Then he can't take that. He can't eat it.
Maybe if you had 1 or 2, I can maybe. You got it's 3 extra kids. What the? You all like going to my mother account, spending money on all those kids. Them not my kids.
Them are your kids' siblings, though. Dumb.
So that's what you gonna go with. That's the one you gonna.
Those are your fucking kids' siblings.
They're my. So that means
yeah. So don't. No, I didn't say you have to take care of them. You can bring them something to eat if you bring one something to eat.
I bring them food every other day. What do
you mean?
Exactly, but you don't never bring food for the other ones. You know I get my food stamps on the 11th.
Your babies.
Okay, but I'm saying we share the same kid as well.
Absolutely. So if you want to, if you feel like I feel the way about eating, take him in the room and let him.
I'm not taking my kid in the room.
Down to the car. He ain't even got. He ain't got to eat for his brothers. He come right out to the car and eat with me.
No. You know what? Fine. Give it here.
Thank you.
Give it here. Give it here. Give it here. Done. He ain't eating this. You.
Why don't you just do that?
Because you ain't bringing up for all the other kids. You stupid. Selfish as a like you're dumb as hell. You're dumb as hell. He not finna eat that. Dumb.
Take care of him anyway.
Dumb. He not finna do it. If you can't do it for all, don't do it for none of them. Bye, stupid. Look, y'all. Every fucking day, my baby daddy come here.
Hold on, stop it. Okay, so you guys saw that. I had to make a comment on this shit. I almost forgot. I had to make a comment. Y'all can tell me what y'all think too. So for me, what y'all think? What y'all think? I mean, when y'all look at that, to me, it's sad overall. But I'm one of them people like, we not gonna cry over spilt milk. A lot of people are getting caught up in the fact that she comes off ghetto, she's on welfare, and they want to call her trash. But if you call her trash, then you call him trash. I mean, trash laid with trash, right? Nice things don't align themselves up with trash. So it's no point in calling them trash, either one of them. To me, that's spilled milk. She said something important. She said, you knew what you was getting into. He answered like, I ain't like, nah, hell no. I'm paraphrasing, but like, hell no, I ain't know what you mean what I was getting into? I ain't supposed to take care of your 3 kids. That said a lot to me. So she may be a woman that has kids by different men. Those are the mistakes and choices she made in life. And she gonna have consequences with that, as she already see. But when he laid down with her, he knew that she had 3 kids. So, you're not holier than thou. And if you knew that you messing with a woman who is obligated, parenting is the hardest job you'll ever do in your life. It is probably the hardest job. And anybody who says easy, they not parenting. Because it is anybody who's really in it to win it and really parenting, you know that's the hardest damn job. It will break your ass down. It will humble you. It will have you in tears at times. Anybody who knows about parenting, because they're parenting, I don't care if mom, dad, whoever, that's a hard ass job. He seemed like one of them guys, and I ain't trying to talk about him. Like, if he got custody of his kid, he would take it to his mama house. Because I met a lot of men that be like, I'm a single parent. Where your kid at? I'm in the military. I'm like, where your kid at? Oh, they stay with my mom. Why the fuck they not staying with you? And so these are systemic problems that people just have, especially in the Black community, that they have in their families. And one thing mothers, we have to stop doing is coddling our sons. Because a lot of men be thinking, oh, I'm going to get custody. But they doing it to hurt the mother. They know they don't want that day-to-day action. They know they don't. I can't say that that's that man's issue. There's a lot of unknowns in this video. We don't know how she lived, what her house looked like, how she really is as a parent. We could tell that she's in her feelings. And I will say this you do for one, you gotta do for all. That is not true. That's not an accurate way to look at things. There's no, it don't have to be like that with your kids. You cannot put that jacket on other people. You can't say, oh, you do for one of my kids, you gotta do for all. You can't do that. And I'm gonna throw a caveat in that. You can't do that for every situation. Let me phrase it like that. But there are situations where that is applicable. And when it comes to food, it's applicable. You knew you was dealing with somebody who's poor. You knew you was dealing with somebody who's on welfare. You knew this before you let your body fluids up in there. You knew that, but you made a baby anyway. So you saw the fate that her kids that she already had was going to have by being in that situation. And I'm not saying it's totally bad, anything like that, but it was going to be a poor existence. You knew that, but you made a baby with her. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to impress me by make sure you doing your part as a father, and this is me, you guys, sign them up to a private school. Pay for that. Number one, there's all kinds of problems here. Kids are more resilient than you think they are. And kids can understand logic. There's a way to explain to your young kids certain things. I grew up in a household where me and my sister had the same dad. My brother had a different dad. My brother dad, he had a heart of gold. But he wasn't a good dad. He just didn't execute being a good dad. And my dad had his faults too. But, my mom didn't talk about them negatively. They damn sure never talked about my mom negatively. But my brother dad, I remember he used to drive trucks. He did it all, like 18-wheelers and all that. And sometimes he used to, at times when we was growing up, he used to drive for restaurants. And sometimes shit would fall off the truck, if you know what I mean. But he brought shit in to help the whole family. If he felt like he could help me or whatever, or my sister, he would do it. He would do it. That's what I mean by he had a heart of gold. They both got points. He got points. He's not responsible for the other kids. Whatever life he want his son to have, he has to make that happen, regardless of all the extra stuff that she has. But, him chastising her about, ain't nobody tell you to have kids with these other men. Come on, dog. You was chastising her for having kids. You won't chastising her when you was trying to slide dick up in her. None of that came out your mouth. You ain't give her that lecture when you was trying to screw her And she had them kids before y'all had y'all's. Jerry Tasker's in a building. What's poppin', King? He said, up in this biatch. Okay. I don't got the phones turned on, so Jerry, if you want to come through, you have to hit the link. But yeah, so, he chastised her. But again, you ain't chastised her in the beginning. So that's crazy to me. Like, that's why she said you knew what you was doing when you got with me. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to tell you right here, I have to side with the woman. And I'm not siding with her because she's a woman. And I understand she comes off ghetto and she's on welfare. So you guys deem her, a lot of people deem her as trash and she's no good. She's just a throwaway. She's not a throwaway. She's not trash, neither is he. But if you want to call her trash, he's trash too. Because trash lie next to trash. Okay? But that's spilled milk. That's what I mean by that spilled milk. That's already a done deal. To chastise somebody or persecute them for something that already has happened and you can't change is fucking crazy to me. There's no need to even talk like that. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like she can't be redeemed. And when she turned 70, she's still going to be trapped because she had 4 babies, and didn't marry none of the daddies and would not. She made bad choices, as we all do. If a man could go to jail when he's young and then get out and change his life around, and we can accept that shit and give him his props as a full-fledged man, then we should be able to do it for women too. That's just how I see it. But all of that spilled milk, that's not the issue for me. What I'm looking at is with the words that she said. He comes here every day. She said that in the beginning. He comes here every day. What kind of parent feeds their kid McDonald's every day? Are you trying to kill a kid? Are you trying to hurt him? Because if you seriously in the business of being a parent, that ain't some shit you would do. He can go ask his mother. I'm sure his mother didn't feed him McDonald's every motherfucking day. So why would he do that to his son? That orange soda, you telling me is good for his son? So what he gonna say to that? Oh, well, it's her job. I'll just give him that little afternoon snack. It's her job to feed him and keep him healthy. It's both of y'all job. So if you gonna want to be doing all that shit, there's a better way. There's so many ways that they could have handled that situation better, including her. So she did make herself look silly because that's how people gonna see her. They gonna judge her because she's ghetto and she got all these babies and baby daddies and she's on welfare. And now they can't even see the issue that she's really talking about. That woman had all 4 of those kids. Whether you want to say she trash or not, whether you want to persecute her for having children, niggas spit out kids all the time. How many dudes that got kids all over the place? Dudes be having kids, don't even know that they got kids. Dudes be leaving kids in different. I was in the Navy. I can tell you right now, half of y'all husbands that left a kid overseas. Real talk. When we pull in them ports, you think they didn't when they did? Half of these men be standing up here acting holier than thou. They got babies all over the place that they completely just walk away from. What's so different about her and him? If they trash, they both trash. If she trash, he trash. If he trash, she trash. So I don't want to get into the mudslinging of calling them trash and caught up in the bad choices that they made because they both made a bad choice. I'm looking at the actual issue. You bring your kid this bullshit every day. I can count on one hand, but I will go ahead and say 2 hands. How many times my mama took us to McDonald's, Burger King, whatever. She never did. It was so far and in between. I can count probably on one hand. Now, if we wanted McDonald's, that was our weekend with our dad. Because and it wasn't Friday, it wasn't Saturday that he got us McDonald's. No, we ate regular food. My mom's a cook, by the way. So hell no, she wasn't buying us that bullshit. But My dad who can cook also. He cook his ass off. But he was a typical dad of the 70s. When he would take us home, he took us home on Sunday in time for us to get ready to go to bed because that's a school night. Because you gotta get up in the morning. And we had to be in bed by 7:30, 8 o'clock. Real talk, y'all. Even when I was in the 12th grade, I had to be in the bed by 8 o'clock. My mama rules. I don't fault her for it. I miss out on a lot of TV shows, some things or whatever. However, common, that was her rules. Because she believed that a kid should get proper sleep. And she right. A kid should get some proper sleep so they can be fresh and ready to go when they at school because that's their job. So my dad, he didn't disrupt her routine. He would bring us home in the 6 or 7 o'clock hour. When we walked through the door, we had to take our showers or whatever and go to bed. That's how it went when we did spend the weekend with our dad. But he would stop because he didn't bring us home hungry. So he would stop at McDonald's and we would actually sit there and eat. And then there was times we would get it to go. I don't remember him driving through the drive-through, but I don't remember ever bringing McDonald's food in the house. You know what I'm saying? And back then, you didn't ask your parents stuff. You had to let them do whatever they gonna do. You be hoping there's McDonald's. Hope dad pull in there, but you don't. Back then, when we was kids, you didn't ask your kids. I mean, ask your parents all the time. Oh, can I have man, dad? Can I get? Nah, you can get slapped. Always begging and shit. They do what they want to do when they want to do it. You just hope that they take you to it. My dad would take us to McDonald's. When we get our little McDonald's, we eat it. And whatever we didn't finish, we left in his car. We had to. I don't even remember leaving nothing in his car, but I don't remember ever walking in the house with McDonald's bags. Because guess what? We had a brother there. And he didn't get to do that shit. But I don't think my mama had to explain that shit to my dad. I think he automatically knew. And if she did, she would have told him once and he would have complied with that. So the biggest issue here is what she trying to say. She just didn't handle it very well. Is that, hey, I understand me and you have a kid, but I have 3 other kids and I love all my kids. And I don't want my kids feeling no certain kind of way. Because when they're hurting and when they're sad, I'm hurt and I'm sad. So can you respect me enough? Because this is what it shows me that neither one of them have respect for each other. Because if he had respect, he wouldn't be doing that. He would find a better way. But if she had respect, she will find a better way to address it. Now, do I think that that's the first time she said something? No. I think she was at her wit's end and she said what she said. And this is what I would have said. I would have been like, hey, look, I feel you. You know, we don't have the best situation over here. And I get it. You want to make sure he has something to eat. I don't have a problem with that. But on the days that you want to bring McDonald's to him, can I ask you to go out your way just a little bit and go pick him up from school? Y'all two go to McDonald's together, sit down, have some father-son bonding time, talking to each other, and, over some food. And when y'all done, bring him home. Because you going to McDonald's anyway, and then you come into my house anyway. All I'm asking you to do extra is pick him up from school. Now, if he come back and say, hey, I don't get off early enough to pick him up from school, then the alternative could be, hey, when you come here, just pick him up and y'all go to the park. And let that be something y'all do together and just between both of y'all. You tell him that, I'll reinforce that. Let that be away from my children. Because I don't need that aggravation. You are disrupting the peace in my house. Because children will view that as some unfair shit. And they will be jealous and they will be envious and that can turn violent. They could turn around and don't like that particular son, all the other kids. They could ostracize him. He could ostracize himself. He could have gained some kind of superiority complex. When they argue, he could throw it up. That's why my daddy come around. That's why my daddy love me. All of those things could be going down in that household. And she the mother who got to see that shit. So her point is relevant. Regardless of what you think of her. Regardless if you think that she's a welfare mom, she made bad choices. The word success cannot be in existence if it wasn't for the word failure. There could be a lot of people that fail at life in general. Like fail to secure a financial stability, fail to choose the right partner, fail to bring children in the world that you can't afford and can't take care of. A lot of people do that. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean they are not beyond redeeming. It doesn't mean that they're trash. Now, she was in her feelings and she quoted or stated that you do you do for one, you gotta do for all. Young lady, if you're listening, no, that doesn't apply across the board. But where I will give it to you at is when it comes to food. Because if she said, I gotta wait till the 11th to get my food stamps. How do you eat in front of hungry children? You telling me this man could not put this shit in his head? He couldn't think of it. Like I'm the only one who can sit here and think about something like that. How do you eat in front of hungry children? Where's your empathy? Where's your sympathy? You don't have to have sympathy for her. You and her on the outs. Y'all are mad at each other. Hurt people hurt people. In your quest to hurt her, you're hurting children. And I'm going to tell you, if you go on a campaign to get back at your mate, your spouse, your ex, or whatever, that's between y'all. I ain't got a heaven and hell to put you in. The minute that it infiltrates or bleed over into children, you're wrong. No matter how justified and right you feel you are, you're wrong. When she goes and he goes, all those kids got is themselves. And sure, what he think? A mother just love for her kids to hate each other? A father would just love for his kids to hate each other? That is not something a real parent would want. You're causing friction and animosity amongst the children. And he said, fine, just let them come to the car. Come on, dude. Why you can't disguise this shit no better? But lady, there's so many ways you can handle that. I just told you a suggestion you could have gave to him. If he's not willing, if you see that, once you see that somebody got it out for you, or it's just being petty, you got to outsmart them. Because I can tell you right now, my mama had a lot of rules. Sometimes she'd be like, and that ain't for your daddy to know. That's between us, and what goes on in this house stays in this house. I should be like, what? Wanting to tell my dad. But shit, if I tell my dad, he might say something, and then I'm going to get that ass whipping. Oh, my mom going to give it to me. And he ain't going to be able to stop her. And one thing I knew about my dad is he know my mama did the heavy lifting. He knew it. So did my brother daddy knew. So even if them two on the outs, them motherfuckers backed her. They always did. I could come to my dad, be like, this time I know you got to stand up for me. My dad give me the same lecture. Well, you better than most mamas. I can say that. And he's appreciative. And my mama was a real mama. She alleviated a lot of worries for him because she was a real mama. And she took her job seriously. So, no, it don't matter. My mama could be dead wrong. he gonna still back her. So I had nowhere to turn to. So when she barked the order, motherfucker, hut 2, 3, 4. You know what I'm saying? Those two parents could have that with their kid. Listen, under no circumstances, son, do you share this with your brothers and sisters, because I don't want them to feel no certain kind of way. I'm your father. I'm just trying to spend time with you. You know, so this is between me and you. This is how we, kick it and all that stuff. That son will understand no matter what age he is. The mother, you know a way that you can handle that? You tell him once. He don't listen. I would take the food and be like, okay, see you later. You ain't got to come up in my house. I would meet him at the door every time, take the food, close the door, and go in the house. And I wouldn't say shit. And hopefully the kids be in the back or whatever. And then I would pour that shit down the drain and throw that shit in the garbage. I would do that every day. You know what I'm saying? He gonna see it my way because her gripe is legitimate. If you guys have an opinion, you guys can weigh in. And this ain't about me siding with women. It's a legitimate gripe. I'm thinking about the children. I'm not thinking about them two hooligans. I'm thinking about the children. She does have a legitimate gripe. If she's fucking up and she's not the greatest parent and she don't know how to manage money, he knew that when he put a baby in her. That's why she said what she said. He want to chastise her and say, "Hey, my fault you done laid down, had kids with another man." You knew that when you fucked her. Kids was there when you fucked her. So if everything won't copacetic, why you put a baby in her? Lady, if you couldn't take care of your 3 kids you had, why you open your legs and run the risk of getting another baby? We could be here all day pointing the fingers at both of them, how they failed, how they was incompetent in their choices. We could be here all day. But let's get past that part and get to the real issue at hand. The real issue at hand is what she's saying. That's not right. He's eating McDonald's. What kid don't want McDonald's? And my kids are hungry sometimes. Now he can say, "Oh, that's not my problem." Dude, you could go buy a bag of potatoes, slice them up with an onion. It costs the same shit as what you paid for that McDonald's food. And if you're that concerned about your kid eating, you can say, "Hey, I'll come over every day and fix this or whatever." And fix it for everybody. If you're that concerned. Or like I said, pick when you want to ensure that your kid is eating every day, make them a plate. Pick them up from school. Go to the park. Sit down. Kick it with your son. Your son gonna remember y'all talks. It's gonna draw y'all closer together. But it's out of sight, out of mind. In the way that he's doing it, he's causing friction between the siblings. And he shouldn't want that. Why would a man want that? Why would a man knowingly put his son in that type of environment? Why would he do it? What if those 3 kids that she had before him was by one guy? We don't know that. And let's say that guy came back into her life and she got this son with this guy. And that guy is like, did a 180. And he's being father of the year, like he doing everything. He got him a good job. He taking him to Disney World. But every time something go down, when they going to some place or whatever, he got that same attitude. That ain't my baby. I ain't fucking take care of him. If we go to Disney World, he gotta pay. If he don't pay, then you leave him with his daddy. Eventually, that little boy is gonna go to his dad and say, "I'm sad. I didn't get to go to Disney World." And you're gonna look at it like, why the fuck you couldn't make a way for him to go? You took all your other kids. I'm just telling you guys. To me, that's the biggest issue. Fuck him. Fuck her. They both made bad choices. And they trying to hurt each other. But what he's doing, that's petty. He is being petty. And he doing that shit on purpose. Because any real parent know You don't feed your kids McDonald's every day. You must don't give a fuck if that's what you're doing. Ain't no fucking way that you love your kid and you looking at your kid and you want the best for your kid and you gonna feed them McDonald's every day. There's no fucking way. There's no way that that can be true. So I looked at it differently. I don't know how you guys look at it. You guys can comment today, you can comment tomorrow, but that's how I looked at it. Um, Again, I don't have a heaven and hell to put either one of them in. Did she make bad choices? Yes, she did. Did she come off saying the ghetto? Yes, she did. But is she trash? No. Nobody's trash. That's just how I am. I'm not calling nobody a trash. But if you're gonna call her a trash, then you gotta call him trash. Because trash lie with trash. You wouldn't buy a Tesla living in the projects, would you? If you hit the lottery and you came into this money, maybe 150,000, maybe $200,000, you hit the lottery. Okay, cool. You gonna buy a Tesla and park it in the parking lot or off the street, and you live in the projects? Really? The two don't mix. Them two don't mix. They just don't line up. You're not putting down projects, but I'm just stating the obvious. Why would you? A Tesla is top of the line. That's top shelf shit. But you living in the projects, which is bottom shelf shit. It is what it is. Trash lab with trash. But we gonna condemn her, we gotta condemn him. That's how I'm gonna see it. You can see it how you like it. But the overwhelming issue is the kids. Because you cannot explain to a child, his daddy being petty. You can't explain it in a way that a child can understand. A child is just gonna see he gets to eat McDonald's and we don't. We're hungry. He's eating in front of us. And you know how kids be nanny, 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 and try to eat slow and all that. Eventually, them kids gonna start throwing hands. It might ruin their relationship. They might be like, I can't stand him. They might start doing dirty deeds to him. That dude can say, "Oh, I'm gonna go get custody of him." How? He said, "I'll show this video." That ain't gonna help you in court. Because if it's a judge that really do take parenting seriously, they gonna look at you like, nigga, you feed your kid McDonald's every day. You think that's normal? That's the best you can do. It's so many things this man could do to ensure that his kid eat, but he ain't doing it. And ladies, when you have different baby daddies or whatever, you can explain to your kids at an age appropriate level, like whatever level they on, and just be like, I'm sorry your dad isn't doing the best that he can, or he's not here, but I know he loves you. We gonna pray to God work on him. You know what I'm saying? But this is such dad, your brother's dad, and he wants to be in his son's life. So it's nothing to get jealous about. It's just how it is. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna continue to pray. I don't know how you would talk to your kids, but you could find a way, and kids will understand. This is not something new. There's so many families that got different baby daddies in the family. You know what I'm saying? How did we handle it in our day? They can handle it. So this girl got a lot of maturing, a lot of growing up to do. But any man who come into somebody's life who already have children, you have to peep game. The lady has to vet the man. The man has to vet the woman. He has to look at her. She got 3 kids. Let me see how she roll with her kids. Is she on point? Or she slacking on her pimping? Let me see. And he can easily gauge that. And he did gauge that. But for some reason, he still wanted to splurge up in her. And then he got a baby with her. What he doing is petty, y'all. It is petty, and it should be beneath him. Because you're trying to hurt her, And I could tell that he wanted to hurt her because he had to chastise her about the fact that she got 3 kids. Nigga, they was there when you got with her. You didn't say it then. Why you saying it now? Ladies, y'all gotta be aware of niggas like that. I used to date a guy that knew I used to smoke. I smoke cigarettes. I used to. 5 years after knowing this guy, and we be off and on and all this stuff, this nigga gonna tell me, uh, but it's, cause you smoke. Nigga, the first 3 years you ain't give a damn. Now, I know people can say people evolve, he give a damn now, but you didn't care. You can't turn around and use against me what you knew in the beginning. I don't like drinking like people don't like smoking. I despise drinking. And he drank. But I accepted it. So if I'm going to leave him, it can't be because of drinking, because I accepted it. His drinking will have to turn to another level, like he's drinking and driving and always getting DUIs, and then I got to get up early in the morning, take him places, and, fuck that shit. You get a DUI, you're on your own. I don't even like drinking, but I would not use it as a reason to leave. That guy did that to me because he was playing games all along. Now because he couldn't be the bad guy. You the bad guy. If you the bad guy, you the bad guy. If you was playing me and using me, just be the bad guy. I'll learn a lesson from it. To be careful who I select. That's all that can happen. You're not softening the blow. You're not making I don't know what lie you telling yourself. You was the bad guy. You shouldn't be out there playing with people's emotions. And that's what he's doing. He's trying to get at her by hurting her kids. But he's going to hurt his son. Maybe his son loves his big brothers and sisters. Maybe they're going to want his protection. Maybe they're going to want them to like him. All 3 of them can turn around and dislike him. What kind of hell environment is that to bring up kids in? So her point was relevant. That's all I was saying. If you guys got anything extra, say you can say. I don't have to be. It don't have to be just like I said, but just that's how I see it. I'm not calling her no trash. She made bad choices. I'm not calling him no trash. But I'm gonna say if we gonna go down that road and she trash, then he is too. Because birds of a feather, right? If she trash, he knew she was trash. But he laid up under her anyway. If she trash, she knew he was trash. But she let him splurge up in her anyway. So they just make bad choices. They're not throwaways. They valuable to somebody. And just for me, I'm looking at just the problem. I'm thinking about the kids and the kids only. But sometimes, ladies, I would tell you this. When you dealing with a petty ass motherfucker, there's a lot of times when y'all break up, for some reason, men don't like to see you do well. Men, you should want to see your baby mamas do well. That's less work you got to do. You should want that. But a lot of times, and I'm not male bashing, I'm telling you what I see. A lot of times it be like that. And I know a lot of women who probably listen to say amen. Sometimes you got to outsmart them for their own good. Their anger ain't going to last that long. And they'll eventually see and grow up just like you will eventually see and grow up. Men, when you see women who's notorious for making bad choices, you're going to have to keep yourself to yourself. There's plenty of women out there to run up in and mow down. If you're going to mow them down, put a condom on. Keep your fluids to yourself. Because no matter how you slice it, dice it, or whatever, that's not going to be the one for you. It's not the one for you because you are. If you start off using and trying to play somebody, let's go for men and women. That person is not for you. And you know that from the jump because you're using them. So keep your fluids to yourself, men. Ladies, keep your legs closed or make a nigga wear a condom. Don't bring no innocent bystander into it like your kids. And men, don't be petty. Don't be petty. You should never want your child to have hate and animosity with their siblings. Because when you go and she gone, that's all they have. You want that bond to be secure and full of love. That's all I got to say. So, does anybody want to say something? Thank you for watching. I'll be here tomorrow. Remember, I come on Monday through Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When the train moving, it's moving. When it's not, I'm out. But when you know better, you do better. Peace.